Okay, hi everybody, this is Mr. Manning, and this video is going to be about how to record transactions from the special journals into the general ledger. So as you can see, I currently have a general ledger up on the screen. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can see, so you can see I have cash here, supplies, they're numbered. Cash is an asset account, so it starts with a 1 and it's got 4 digits because this is a corporation. If I continue to scroll down, you're going to hopefully see some accounts that sound familiar to you, like accounts receivable, prepaid insurance, accounts payable, Hobby Shack Capital, and so on. So first of all, you're going to notice that there are more ledgers in this example than there would have been when we did small businesses. And that's just simply because this is a corporation, and corporations have more transactions, therefore more ledgers. Also, across the bottom here, I have 5 different tabs, and all 5 of these are the special journals that this corporation is using. And I went ahead and put them in order of how we should record them into the general ledger. So if you don't remember the order, you might want to watch the previous video, but basically you need to record your transactions in this order: sales journal, then purchases, general journal, cash receipts, then cash payments. So just remember, go left to right and you should be fine, okay? All right, so the very first thing that the accountant should do is start with the sales journal, and they need to total up all of the transactions from the month. So I am going to put the last day of the month. This is the month of October, so of course the last day is the 31st or Halloween. And I am going to put total. And then I am going to write a really quick equation to add up all of the items in this column. So I can just do plus, 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 I guess. So I'm just going to add up all 6 of those items. And I'm going to hit enter, and Google Sheets adds them all up for me. I want to add up all of these columns, so remember, I can, once I've done one, I can hover my mouse above this little box in the right corner, do a right click, or excuse me, a left click, and drag it all the way over, and it will total up the other columns as well. If it helps you, you are welcome to do some formatting to this line to make it stand out. So if you want to, you could make it yellow or something. It doesn't really matter, but a lot of people like to underline it or bold it or give it a new color just to help it stand out. Okay, so I have totaled up my columns. I am now going to take these totals and I'm going to put them into the general ledger into the correct account. So once again, I start on the left and I'm going to look at accounts receivable. Guess what? We've already done a subsidiary ledger for all accounts receivable transactions. So this is actually not necessary to record. So I am going to skip it. If you want to record it, you can. It's not going to hurt anything. There is an account for accounts receivable, and you can put that number there. But it's really not necessary as long as you've done a subsidiary ledger. If you have not done a subsidiary ledger, then you do need to record this. So I'm going to go to the next one. I've got the sales account, and it is a credit. And I know it's a credit because it states it right here. So I've got $10,063 that I need to put into my sales account. So I am going to go to my general ledger. I'm going to scroll down to my sales account, which I know is a revenue account, so it should be in the 4,000s. Here it is. And I'm going to put this as the very first transaction. The date is always October 31st. In fact, if you don't want to worry about the date, I'm okay with that, because we know that the accountant is always doing this on the last day of the month. Therefore, it should be expected that all of the dates are the last day of that particular month. But, you know, we're in the habit of putting the date, so if you want to, that's totally fine. So I'm going to put October 31st. In my post reference, I'm going to put that this is Sales Journal 9 or S9. I know that because over on my sales journal, I am on page 9, and it's Sales Journal page 9, so S9. This tells me, or anybody else that is looking at these, that I got this number from the sales journal, page 9. This is especially important if you happen to have several pages of a sales journal from a month, and a large corporation probably would. Okay, and I am going to record the transaction. This was a credit transaction of $10,063. And because I've already put in the math formulas, it's going to go ahead and show that this is my new balance of $10,063. So I'm done with that one. I am then going to go to sales tax payable. This is also a credit, so I go back to my general ledger. I find the sales tax payable. Payable should tell me that that is a liability account, so it's in the 2000s. Here it is. So I'm going to record this one. It's also from Sales Journal 9, and it's also a credit of $567. And the magic of Google Sheets puts that balance in that account. So I have recorded both of my accounts, sales and sales tax payable. I didn't have to do accounts receivable. So I am already done with the sales journal, special journal. Let's move on to purchases. Once again, I am going to total this up. Just write a quick equation here. I get $4,140. One more time, if you want to make it a new color, you can. It's totally up to you. Now, on the purchases journal, I have two accounts. I've got purchases debit, accounts payable credit. And accounts payable I don't have to record because I did a subsidiary ledger. So I'm going to go to my general ledger. I'm going to find the purchases ledger, and I'm going to record a debit of $4,140. Purchases is a revenue account as well. I have to put where I got this at. This is Purchases Journal, page 7, so P7. And this is going to be a debit of $4,140. And that is the only transaction on the Purchases Journal. So I'm done with that one. Okay. The General Journal is probably where you're going to spend the most of your time. And unfortunately, the General Journal is going to be very similar to how you did it in first semester when you were working with a small business. Unfortunately, because all of these transactions have individual accounts and individual amounts, we can't just total them all up and put them in one place like we are able to with the sales of the purchases journal. So we do have to go line by line and record these. I will point out, though, accounts payable and accounts receivable we do not have to record because we did a subsidiary ledger. So I'm going to start. We'll do a few here, and then I'll pause the video, and we'll pick up and do the cash receipts and the cash payments. So cash, debited $10,000. Go to the general ledger, all the way up to the cash account. And I'm going to put this is General Journal, page 3. General Journal, page 3. And this is a debit of $10,000. Okay. So I am done with this line. Hobby Shack Capital, a credit of $10,000. So I go to Hobby Shack Capital, and this should be a review. You know, you did this back in first semester. You might be a tiny bit rusty, but for the most part, this should be a review. And this is a credit of $10,000. Okay, I am going to go ahead and fill out the rest of these, and I'm going to pause the video, and when I come back, they will all be filled out. Okay, we are back, and I am finished recording all of the transactions from the General Journal into the General Ledger. You can see that I've had a couple of transactions in cash and supplies and so on. So now that I am done with the General Journal, I've done all of these except for the accounts payable and accounts receivable. I'm going to move to the cash receipts journal. And just like I did before, I am going to total these up. So let's do a quick total transaction. One thing that I've seen students do as a mistake is when they add these up, they forget to add up even the sections that have blanks, because when they drag it over, if you don't do that, you won't get the right number. So make sure that when you're writing your equation to add up the column, you either use the sum function or you definitely include everything. Okay, and one more time, I will make this yellow. All right, accounts receivable credit, don't have to record because I did a subsidiary ledger. Sales credit, I'm going to record that just like I did before into the general ledger, so I got to go find the sales account. All right, and this is from the cash receipts journal, so I'm going to put CR4, oh, wrong one, CR4, and this is a credit of $9,005, and my balance automatically updates. Okay, I am going to do the other three off camera real quick. Okay, and we're back, and I just went through my cash receipts. I recorded all 4 of these columns into the correct accounts. I also made sure that I knew if it was a credit or a debit. And here is my current balances on some of the accounts. All right, very last step is to do the cash payments journal. So cash payments journal, for the most part, is exactly like the other ones. So I'm going to total this again. And just like I said before, I'm going to make sure to include every single cell when I do my equation. Drag this across to get all my totals. I'm going to highlight it in yellow. I just kind of like doing that. If you don't like to do that, you don't have to. Now, the reason I said the cash payments journal is pretty much like the others is on the cash payments journal, there is a general debit column. We don't have an account called general. In fact, when we did the general journal, it was all general, right? So because we don't have an account called general, anytime there is a transaction in this column, we have to refer to the line of what the transaction is. So like on this one, this is a $50 debit in advertising expense. So I need to record that in my general ledger in advertising expense. So I'm going to go to advertising expense way down here at the bottom. This is the cash payments journal, right? And cash payments, page 5. And it was a debit of 50 bucks. Okay. And then I have got one more. I've got a $75 debit in the supplies journal, or supplies ledger, excuse me. So I'm going to go all the way up here to supplies. Cash payments, page 5. And this one was a $75 debit. Okay. Now, after you get that general part done, the rest of it is exactly the same. So accounts payable credits, we don't need, or accounts payable debit, excuse me. We don't need to do accounts payable because we did a subsidiary ledger. And then I've got 2 more accounts, purchases discount as a credit and cash as a credit. So let's do those real quick and we'll call it good. So purchases discount, got to go find that one. Cash payments, page 5. And the purchases discount was a credit of $33. And then finally, way up at the top, we have a cash credit. And I need to check one more time. Cash credit, $2,912. $2,912. Okay. And now we have successfully recorded all of our transactions into a general ledger. All right. I'm going to let you guys try one out on your own. Good luck.